Horror movies. What are they? Is it merely a genre of entertainment filled with jump scares and gore? Or is it a realm where fear is packaged into predictable formulas? When we immerse ourselves in the world of horror, what do we seek? Is it the adrenaline of fear? Or the thrill of confronting the unknown? Or does it hold a deeper significance? A lens through which we explore the realities we otherwise would never confront? To me, the horror genre exemplifies two sides of a coin. One side depicts horror in its rawest form, exposing us to fears and terrors we hope never to confront. The other side reviews humanity, which, despite facing these terrors, manages to showcase resilience and the unyielding will to survive. This is the humanity in horror. Society has long viewed horror and thriller films with skepticism. They're branded as mindless bloodshed or merely entertaining for shock value, lacking any substance. The biggest example I can draw from is from classics like Halloween or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. On the surface, both films follow the popular plot of teens senselessly murdered one by a malevolent killer. But have we overlooked the intricate narratives and psychological depths within these characters? In Halloween, we are initially introduced to the resilient killer Michael Myers, a mysterious sociopath who shows no empathy to the point of not feeling any physical pain. Similarly, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the main antagonist is Leatherface, a monstrous psychopath who exhibits a similar lack of empathy and seemingly unaffected by physical pain. However, the biggest similarity between Michael Myers and Leatherface is the broken person behind the mask. Take Leatherface, the black sheep of an already dysfunctional family in rural Texas. His family's deranged values and brutal lifestyle, coupled with his own mental vulnerability, contributed significantly to his descent into madness. In exploring the humanity behind these characters, it's essential to recognize the complexity of their psychological makeup. Both Michael Myers and Leatherface, despite their deranged appearances, are ultimately representations of damaged individuals whose humanity has been distorted beyond recognition. In fact, the inspiration behind these characters, Ed Gaines, better known as the Butcher of Plainfield, was a real-life serial killer whose crimes left an indelible mark on popular culture. Ultimately, the killer's legacy extends beyond his horrific acts and became inspiration for the spine-chilling icons we know today. Gaines' story, which extends to Leatherface, forces us to grapple with the uncomfortable questions about the depths of human depravity and the fragility of sanity. In recent years, the horror genre has undergone a significant evolution, specifically in how it portrays its protagonists. Instead of the typical shallow and disposable character, modern horror introduces us to characters with depth, complexity, and flaws. I believe the most entertaining horror films are those that show characters with goals or motivations beyond themselves. Two stand out to me: The Purge and The Platform. In the Purge series,
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours.
In the second film, we follow Leo Barnes, who exhibits character complexity throughout the entire film. You see, Leo's son was murdered by a drunk driver, but the driver was granted immunity because it was on the previous purge. Leo, now a man with no drive to even live, despite being disgusted with the holiday, participates in the purge in a pursuit of vengeance. However, throughout the film, Leo's pursuit becomes intertwined with his confliction to save innocent lives from the institution that ultimately killed his son. He forces himself to get involved in situations he could have avoided, which occupied the remaining time he had to seek his son's killer. Ultimately, he refrains from killing the man, not feeding further into the purge's ideals. Leo's choice underscores the deeper themes of forgiveness, redemption, and the rejection of violence perpetuated by the purge. It highlights Leo's evolution as a character, from a man consumed by grief and anger to someone who rises above the cycle of violence. In The Platform, our main character, Goreng, awakens in a vertical prison where inmates, 2 to a floor, are fed via a singular descending platform that holds food for only a limited time before moving the same set of food deeper into the prison. The twist is that each month, every inmate is moved to a different floor, creating a physical hierarchy where those at the top are better than those below. This leads to a harrowing cycle of scarcity and desperation among inmates, which results in extreme measures to survive or not. Goreng at first is bewildered by the brutal and unjust nature of the prison. He appears naive and passive, uncertain about how to navigate this harsh environment. He witnesses the ruthlessness of the prison and experiences firsthand the extreme measures to survive. Goreng's initial innocence gives way to a growing sense of moral confliction and determination. He decides to ride the platform down with a minimal amount of food, intending to ration it to those below him fairly. His actions highlight themes of solidarity, challenging a vicious cycle rooted in the line between greed and survival. Both Leo and Goreng embody a new archetype of thriller protagonists, flawed yet heroic individuals who grapple with moral dilemmas. They evolve beyond personal conflictions to confront larger injustices in a struggle beyond survival. The evolution of horror films, from the classics like Halloween and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, to the modern takes such as The Purge and The Platform, mirrors our own evolution in grappling with existential questions and societal dilemmas. At its core, the horror genre serves as a mirror, reflecting back to us the space outside our comfort zone. It challenges us to confront our deepest fears and anxieties, while also illuminating the courage and resilient will to survive that defines the human spirit. Ultimately, the humanity in horror showcased in the characters that populate these narratives goes beyond their backstory and depiction. They're not merely vessels for terror or plot, but they embody the complexities of human nature, confronting ethical dilemmas and moral landscapes we only fantasize of. Beyond the screen, it highlights how we can navigate adversity or be consumed by it.